Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting in a Fan. Welcome to the official Llewellyn's 2024 Tarot Calendar, February 2024 edition. I have here the page for the February entry, and what I'm noticing about this deck. Okay, so first of all, a blessed Imbolc tide to all of you in YouTube land. That's number one. And number two, what I find interesting is that this is, in all the years that I've been purchasing the Llewellyn's tarot calendars, this is the first time that I've seen a spread that recommends pulling out a card from the deck before doing the spread. Since Imbolc is the midpoint, at least in the northern hemisphere, between Yule, the winter solstice, and Ostara, the vernal equinox, I pulled the Ace of Wands, or in this tarot deck, the Ace of Flames. I am using, and this is a tarot deck that I don't like its new name, or new-ish name, so I call it by its original name, which is the Witchy Tarot. Illustrated by the Antonella Platano. I have every tarot deck she's illustrated. I love her graphic novel style artwork. I really do. So, I'm going to read to you about the Ace of Wands. I'm going to also read the blessing at the end, towards the end of the video. I will read the spread before I cast the cards. But I do want to tell you a little bit about this particular tarot deck. So the name of this tarot deck is, from which the Ace of Wands is featured, is called the Unbridled Spirit Tarot. The book was written by Tina Tack Anderson, and the artist's name is Dianita, which means Little Diana in Spanish. I love it. So, the Ace of Wands from the Unbridled Spirit Tarot. Like all aces, this is the promise of a new beginning and a gift. The gift of the ace depends on its suit. The Ace of Wands gifts include passion, courage, and energy. Get ready for an exciting ride. I was guided and led to pull the Ace of Wands. I could have pulled any of the other aces, but because this February is the month before the vernal equinox, again, at least in the northern hemisphere, I figured, let me pull the Ace of Wands. By the way, using the traditional names, the Ace of Wands corresponds to Ostara, or the vernal equinox. The Ace of Cups corresponds to Litha, also known as midsummer, the summer solstice. The Ace of Swords corresponds to the autumnal equinox, as well as the date when the sun enters Libra. And the autumnal equinox is also known as Mabon. And of course, the Ace of Pentacles corresponds to the date when the sun enters my sun sign Capricorn, as well as Yule, or the winter solstice. So, a spread to promote growth. Make the best use of new energy in your life. Use this spread when presented with an opportunity or as a follow-up reading if an ace showed up in another reading. Use it this month for the Ace of Wands. Consider it a bonus gift of good fortune. Select the ace you want to use from your deck, shuffle the rest of the cards, and lay them out as follows, which I already did in advance just to save time. So, number one, the ace. Number two, what emotions will help nurture this ace. Number three, what thoughts or attitudes will benefit this ace. Number four, what actions you can utilize, Number four, what actions can you take to utilize this ace? And card number five, a clue or message that will help you use and experience this ace to the best advantage. Now, emotions correspond to the suit of cups, or in this tarot deck, the suit of cauldrons. Thoughts or attitudes would be swords, or in this tarot deck, atames. I'm going to reconfirm that in a moment. What actions you can take to utilize this ace? That's actually wands, but I digress. And that would be flames in this tarot deck. And then a clue or message that will help you use and experience this ace to the best advantage. That would be the major arcana. So, and this is one of the reasons why I happen to love 5-card spreads, because at their core, they represent all 5 suits from a tarot deck. Major arcana, wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. By the way, the suit of pentacles in this tarot deck, the Witchy Tarot, are called boulders. So, this is for the collective. So let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. If this doesn't, I'm open either way. If this was a professional reading, you would be gagging and gobsmacked at my accuracy, but I digress. Anyway, so I'm going to put this over here to make it easier for me. So, the ace. I was guided and led to use the Ace of Wands, or in this tarot deck, the Ace of Flames. And this is about new beginnings. This is the ace that traditionally corresponds to the element of spring. Drake, is everything okay? You sure? Okay. Checking with Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person from my YouTube videos. And traditionally, the suit of flames or wands correspond to the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And traditionally, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, the Ace of Wands corresponds to the date of the Vernal Equinox, or in some magical traditions, Ostara. And from a Western astrology perspective, the date when the sun enters Aries, the sign of new beginnings and the strongest of the fire signs. And for a variety of reasons, I sometimes find myself too focused on the financial aspect or the financial form of prosperity. So I am being reminded through this reading, not only for the collective but for myself as well, to focus on the forms of prosperity here. Passion, courage, energy. Now, second card, what emotions will help nurture this ace? The Two of Flames, more commonly known as the Two of Wands. I've often said that 2 cards in the minor arcana represent partnerships, relationships, friendships. But according to the Barbara Moore, who wrote the insights, spreads, and tips in these calendars, it's about choices. I forgot the name of that drag queen on RuPaul's Drag Race, but choices was one of her words. Choices, choices, choices. I want to say Tatiana, but if you know in the comments, please correct me. I don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race as often as I'm supposed to. I know, I'm a gay man and I don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race on a regular basis. That's almost jeopardizing my gay card, right? Right. Am I right? Right. So, because there is also a school of thought that says that each minor arcana card, pip card, corresponds to its major arcana counterpart, it also is about the emotions that we experience when we work with deity, when we work with the spirits, when we connect with our ancestors. So I'm getting a lot from this card. I'm really getting a lot from this card. So let me take a sip of my coffee. Oh. Did I mention I make great coffee? Phenomenal coffee? So first, look at the choices. Look at the emotions that you are choosing to express, that you are choosing to allow to be dominant in your life and world. And see if those emotions are helping or hindering this ace. That's number one. Number two, I do want to add that sometimes people experience negative emotions. I totally get that. I myself have been experiencing a lot of negative emotions since the beginning of January. I do not mind telling you that January was probably one of the suckiest birthday months I've had in I don't even remember how long. But I'm getting better. And personal issues are being handled and taken care of, and slowly but surely, I'm dealing with other people that have their own schedules and have their own clientele and whatnot. So some of you know all too well what the hell I'm talking about, so I'm not even going to go any further. And also, choices with regards to nourishing and nurturing your spirituality, your intuition, your connection to deity, your connection to your spirits, your connection to your ancestors, etc. Card number 3. What thoughts or attitudes will benefit this ace? This is a pivotal card. It is the centralmost card, so I am calling it a pivotal card. That is not a coincidence. And I promise you, I shuffled this deck very thoroughly, and the cards were not in order. They were not in the original order when I began shuffling this deck. So the fact that we have the first 3 Flames cards or Wands card in a row, like literally, first card is the 1 of Flames or the Ace of Wands. Second card is the 2 of Flames or the 2 of Wands. Third card is the 3 of Flames, also known as the 3 of Wands. You cannot make this shit up. I'm just going to say it. You cannot make this shit up. That blows my mind. So, what thoughts or attitudes benefit this ace? The thoughts and attitudes of passion, of courage, of energy. So this is not only a pivotal card, but this for me is the universe, the spirits, the goddess, the gods, our ancestors saying, you know what? I know you're going through crap right now, really fucked up crap, but you need to rise above it. You need to do everything in your power to rise above it. And I'm speaking a little more loudly because I know my spirits are yelling at me like, bitch, 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 bitch. You need to get the fuck off the floor and you need to rise up. I promise you I'm listening, but some days are harder than others, okay? Some days are harder than others. I'm just going to put that out there because that's how it is for me right now. Some days are harder than others. And for you in YouTube land, if some of these days have been harder than others, I promise you I get it. I fucking get it. I too fucking much get it. I really, really do. But, and I'm going to put it like that, but, you have both the right and the responsibility to do what you need to do to rise up. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the people you love and adore. You owe it to the people who love and adore you to rise up. To do whatever it takes to rise up. Card number 4. What actions can you take to utilize this ace? I had to check. It is not the 4 of Flames, more commonly known as the 4 of Wands. It is the Judgment card. Here's what I find interesting about this card. So first of all, the Judgment card is traditionally, in a more traditional tarot deck, the card that depicts Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel is the divine messenger of the archangels. And card number 5 is a clue or message that will help you use and experience this ace to the best advantage. So I feel like all of the messenger spirits, Archangel Gabriel, Hermes, or as the ancient Romans called him, Mercurius, all of the deities and divinities of creativity, such as my beloved Sarasvati, the Hindu goddess of creativity, of the arts, of wisdom. And 2024 is the year of wealth and wisdom. The year of Lakshmi and Sarasvati. Ooh, I didn't get, ooh, I got a chill just now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So, it is the Judgment card. So, recently, somebody that I think the world of, who has in many ways become one of my favorite clients and one of my favorite YouTube channel subscribers. I will not mention her name just because she is a sun sign Taurus, and Taurians, like their polar opposite Scorpios, are very private people. But I will say that recently she reminded me that for her, the new year begins on the date of the vernal equinox. And from a Western astrology perspective, yes, the first date of the new astrological year is the vernal equinox. And it's no coincidence that the vernal equinox, whichever its date, is also International Astrology Day. It is what some would call a movable feast or a movable holiday because it's not the same year after year after year. So, what final decisions, what final judgments do you need to make before the date of the vernal equinox, which in the Northern Hemisphere is Tuesday, March 19th, 2024. I will include the date and time in the description box for this video. So what needs to be finalized? What needs to be declared complete and over and done with? What chapter are you long overdue to close? What book are you long overdue to finish reading? And I mean that figuratively, not literally. Some of you know that I will spend a lot of time with one particular book because of the nature of the book, like The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Dr. Catherine Ponder. And card number 5, and I'm just going to reconfirm this with Drake, they will be able to see all of card number 5, correct? Okay. Card number 5, a clue or message that will help you use and experience this ace to the best advantage. The Lover's card. Okay, 2 years ago was 2022. 2022 numerologically reduces to 6, as in the Lover's card of the Sacred Tarot. I do not look at the Lover's card as a romantic relationship. I know a lot of people do, but given the nature of the major arcana, it does not make sense. The true love relationship card, as far as I'm concerned, is the Two of Cups. The Lover's card is about your level of divine love healing energy. So, the Lover's card is the clue or message that will help all of you in YouTube land watching this video use and experience the Ace of Flames to the best advantage. I'm going to give you a side note, and I love talking about this for so many reasons. So one day, I found in my beloved Borders, I'm telling you, I miss that bookstore. Every day I miss that bookstore. Chain bookstore, but I loved it. The Holy Book of Women's Mysteries by Z. Budapest. And in that book, she talked about the different holy days on the witch's wheel of the year. And she talked about Ostara, the vernal equinox, as the witch's Valentine's Day. Now, I want to tell you something. In ancient times, the time around February 14th was called Diazia. Diazia was a doom and gloom festival. Diazia. Like, who wants to get their romance on, and who wants to get their love on, and who wants to get their fuck on during a doom and gloom festival? Diazia. D-I-A-S-I-A, Diazia. Like, yeah, I'm feeling all sexy right now, seriously. Ooh, really? No, I'm not. But the witch's holy day of Ostara as the witch's Valentine's Day makes so much more sense. Think about it. You have the sun entering Aries, the sign of new beginnings, and the strongest of the fire signs. So you have all of this passionate energy. You have sprouts sprouting from the ground. You have shoots shooting from the ground. You have all of these phallic images sprouting and shooting. Yeah, it makes a whole lot more sense. You have flowers beginning to bloom. You have trees beginning to flower and leaf. It makes a whole lot more sense. It really does. Now, that's not to say that I'm dissing the upcoming Sexy Hexes, Psychic Fair, and Mini Market. Nothing could be further from the truth. And I am well aware of the fact that it is happening exactly 4 days before St. Valentine's Day. I totally get it. I really do. But what I'm pointing out is that the Lover's card, being the card that represents how to properly use and experience this ace to your best advantage, is also about re-examining and rethinking about your relationship with love relationships. You know, my life partner / divine consort and I are going to celebrate our 12th anniversary in August of 2024. So for me, it's an opportunity to look at, am I giving enough to my life partner? Am I receiving enough from my life partner? Is this romantic relationship continuing to serve his needs, my needs, our needs? Is there something else I can do to bring more love and fulfillment and joy into this romantic relationship, into this divine consortship? Is there more that I need from my life partner / divine consort to bring more love, fulfillment, and joy into this relationship? And what about what I love to call divine love healing energy? Am I giving enough of that to him? Am I giving enough of that to me? Am I receiving enough of that from him? Am I bringing enough of that into this romantic relationship / divine consortship? And this is another card that in a more traditional tarot deck depicts an archangel, namely Archangel Raphael, the divine healer of the archangels. So maybe, for all of you in YouTube land, this is an opportunity to focus on your healing, your complete healing, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, sexual, psychological, and any other healing you need. And make healing your complete being more of a priority. And of course, those of you that have had sessions with me, you know that I look at the bottommost card, and that tells me what the final message card is. Sometimes I use it as the card to help us understand the reading more effectively. And that card is the Priestess, more commonly known as the High Priestess. So, I have it upside down. Pardon me, YouTube land. So, the presence of the Priestess is reminding us to continue to nourish and nurture our intuition, to continue to nourish and nurture our inner goddess, to continue to nourish and nurture that divine feminine energy that all of us have within us. It doesn't matter what our gender is, it doesn't matter what our sexual orientation is. If you are a human being on planet Earth right now, you have both the right and the responsibility to nourish and nurture your inner divine feminine energy and that goddess that resides inside of you. It is always a pleasure to do YouTube videos that focus on Llewellyn's tarot calendars. And of course, I am immensely thankful to Llewellyn Publications for publishing yet another edition of the Llewellyn's tarot calendar. I am thanking them in advance for publishing Llewellyn's 2025 tarot calendar. Yes, 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 yes. I am most thankful to Laura Tuan for writing the booklet for the Witchy Tarot, and of course to the Antonella Platano for illustrating this tarot deck. Its current name is the Teen Witch Tarot. I don't like that name. I'm just going to say it. I don't like the name. They didn't consult me. I'm not calling it by the Teen Witch Tarot. I'm calling it the Witchy Tarot. There you go. I have no microphone to mic drop, but you get the idea. And of course, I want to thank the Barbara Moore for all the insight, spreads, and tips, for writing all of the insight, spreads, and tips. And of course, to all of you in YouTube land, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all the likes, all the comments, all the shares, and all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And an extra big and beautiful thank you to all of you who have already scheduled your sessions, including the individual who had a phone reading with me, whose birthday happens to be the date of the Vernal Equinox this year, as well as the wonderful individual who has been more than a client for me for several years, who's having a phone reading with me tomorrow, Sunday, February 4th, 2024 at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. To all of you in YouTube land, stay in tune with your intuition, stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated, and stay tuned for the next video.